What's up, YouTube? It's the day of the FuelFest, but there's one big problem. It's been raining since last night, and it's still raining. It's actually flooded in some areas, so we're gonna see what we can do. I'm making sure to grab my umbrella because we're still going no matter what. Let's just get there and see what we can do. We're just gonna make the best of it, have a good time, and do what you can. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it. And that's where the video begins. I'm pretty much gonna do a voiceover this whole thing just because, it was raining and you can't really do much in the rain. So here's a quick shot. I found someone next to park to. The turnaround was relatively good for how much it was raining. But real quick, let me just let you hear the Miata and muscle car noises. Here we go. Hello. Beyond right there. That's pretty cool. And we're back. Okay, so those is kind of like the best part about FuelFest, in my opinion, is like on the way there, you kind of see all of the people, and you know they're going because they have heavily modified vehicles, and you kind of all drive your way to FuelFest. So it's like this big group event. I honestly have more fun just doing that than the actual event, to be honest. Like, it's crazy. But yeah, as you can see, FuelFest was ruined by the rain. This rain was ridiculous. It was raining all night, and then the morning before, as you can see right here, look at all of the people leaving. So this time was around, like, FuelFest started at 1. Bear that in mind. This is about 1:45, and you see all these people already leaving, right? It was ridiculous. People were tired of it. Not the cars, but the rain. It was cold. The temperature dropped significantly, so it was about 50 something degrees. If you look right here, if you look closely, you can see the water coming down the ramp. Now, this is in the beginning of the day. It only continues to get worse from right here. So I didn't record it, but at the end of the day, there was so much water running down this ramp right here, down to the hill where that little tunnel's at, that the only way to get out of FuelFest was pretty much just getting your feet wet. Like, you were going to be walking in water. So by the time you got to your car, you were pretty much socks, shoes, etc. Everything was wet. Which by that time it should have been already if you were out there all day. But yeah, around this time it was around 50, I'd say it was like 55 degrees. But the rain kind of made it feel worse than what that was, and it was super windy, super windy. And that was honestly the part that killed it. Like, I think we could have withstood the rain if it wasn't so damn windy. It was so windy. That was something I was talking about right there. The first car I saw coming into FuelFest was a damn white Kia Soul that drove me insane. I'm always seeing Kia Souls, them little hamster cars. But to continue, this is coming in. There was EMS on standby, which was already a bad sign when you come into FuelFest and you see the EMS, because they're not allowed to drift the cars because it's raining so damn bad. So there's no drifting going on. There's no car events going on. Typically on the left hand side, there's usually like a little track where people can like use their cars to drive around, but that was canceled as well. That little concert on the left hand side, nothing was going on there because it was raining, obviously. There was like barely any music. The vendors, at this point, a couple of vendors have already headed out. A lot of people already left the show. Hey, I know that Scion, by the way. I just caught that. I didn't even realize that at the show. I know that Scion. Anyways, yeah, so it was cold. You can see people already, like, calling shop and whatnot. There's a lot of cars already on the way out. Four-door Skyline, that's pretty cool. You don't see those every day, right? But it was cold, man. It was cold. And bear in mind, we're carrying all of this equipment on top of the umbrella, And for me, my bag is water resistant, but it isn't waterproof. So it's raining, right? And my bag can withstand the rain. However, it can't withstand the rain all day. And I have a lot of equipment in there that is not water resistant nor waterproof. So that was just, something I had to take into consideration. So every time I was holding my umbrella, I was also making sure to cover up my bag at the same time. And then you're fighting the wind. The wind was really strong. Like I said, there's perfect example right there. The wind was super strong. So you're fighting the wind, you got all this heavy equipment on, it's cold, it's windy, it's raining, it's wet. A lot of this stuff is already kind of like not happening because of the wetness. So it was just so chaotic. We were definitely trying to make the best of it, but at this point, I mean, we were freezing. We were like, yo, we got to find a spot. It's cold, so there's another umbrella going off right there. So we went looking for a building, and we ended up making our way across the VIP section. So we'll get there shortly. Alright, so we did make our way to the VIP section. There was so many people in here just because obviously the rain picked up, so people were looking for shelter. So these are a couple of the cars that were here. I believe this is an RX-7 just because it has the rotary engine, but I do appreciate the Doritos right there. We had brought a friend along who's learning cars, and we were trying to tell her that the rotary engine is like the Dorito chip, so having the bag of Dorito chips happening to be there was perfect. But here's a couple of the cars that we saw in the VIP section. We weren't able to do much recording at all in the VIP section just because, like I said, everyone was in here. These are very rare examples where we would sit at a car for about 5 minutes apiece until we had like a clear shot. Luckily we had some big cameras, so people would just leave us alone once we got on one knee, because it's like, oh shoot, this guy means business. So we had a little technique there, but there was so many people in there, and I'll show you just a second, like when Cody Walker comes in, you'll see it real quick how many people were in that building. It was so warm in there too because of the body heat. But yeah, those were the couple of the cars that we got in there. So a lot of good looking cars. There's a wagon GTR, which is insane, which wasn't the only GTR wagon that was in there. But then this is on the outside. I feel bad for these guys because they paid a lot of money to get this parking and nobody came over here. I don't know why there's a Tesla right there. I don't know why you would pay to put your Tesla right there. I say that, but then there's like what is that, a Dodge? Is that a Dodge or is that a Jeep? I don't know what that is. It's the Dodge. But here's that outdoor parking outside of the VIP section. As you can see, the rain picked up and it kind of stayed consistent like this for the rest of the day. The wind picked up, the rain picked up, and the temperature continued to drop. So I was like, let me go out here and get these shots of these cars out here just so I got some content for the video. But as you can see, people were leaving already, right? There's 2 missing cars there. On the left hand side where we were earlier, people were already, camping up or picking up camp and just taking off. So yeah, I felt bad for these guys because they paid to come out here. I don't know what the price was. I think it was like $60 to put your car here, and nobody was back here, so I feel so bad. I love that Mazda. I wish he put his Insta on the car because I was trying to follow him. But then you do got the ultimate activities right there. You got the big body trucks. You got the Pontiacs as well as the little 370. So I showed some love over here. I showed some appreciation. This right here, I was getting worried. So this is the drift camp, right? This is where you come out, you choose your driver, and then you can kind of get in the car and they'll drift you around. I was worried because if you looked at that earlier, they were picking their cars up on the trailer. So I thought that they were giving up. I thought they were leaving. So I was really worried about that. I was nervous. I was like, dude, everything's getting canceled. There's Cody Walker right there. As you can see, there's kind of an example of how many people were out here. So special guest appearance, just real quick. Unfortunately, we spent most of our time just watching these little RC cars drift because it was the only warm spot in the whole FuelFest. But I'm not gonna lie, it was fun watching these little cars drift. And then this right here was hilarious. I should have recorded it, but I didn't want to be rude. But there was a guy, he was ordering his food, and man, that dude was shaking because he was wearing shorts and everything, so his legs were like spazzing out. I wish I recorded it to show you how cold it was, because the video doesn't do it justice. And then you can see like the food's all wet. People were finally able to drift after like what 2 or 3 hours. They gave the thumbs up to go ahead and drift. So I did get some recordings of the vehicles drifting right here, and I'll turn up the audio so you guys can hear it. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool. You know, I'm happy those guys got to go out there, but they definitely didn't make as much money as they intended to, because typically that's how they make their dough, right? They'll have you'll kind of go out to that little building right there, and you pay the driver to drift you around. So the fact that 90% of the people left before the drifting could even commence was like a big sad thing for the drifters out there. And it was just kind of like a party pooper, honestly. But they were doing the best of what they got. You do have like the groups right here where they go in threes. I forgot what these guys are called. I never pay attention to the damn names. But those guys get it sideways, you can see. And I did get a video, I think it's gonna come up here shortly, where there was a dude who actually he did not make the drift. He peeled out. But man, right here, I got this video for you guys. It was so cold. By this time, it was about 45 degrees, and it was raining so hard. It was raining so bad. And we were soaked. We actually took shelter in like this little restaurant building, and my friends were like, dude, let's just go. And I was like, hear me out, let me just go out here for about 5 minutes and suffer just so I can get the content. So I did it for the gram, right? I did it for the YouTube. But man, it was so cold. I was soaked. I was shivering. My fingers were like numb. And you can look at this guy's pants, like he's soaked as well. So that's kind of an indication. It was just so bad. But like I said, we tried to make the best of it. But FuelFest was definitely ruined because of the rain. Like I said, it was great, and it's always an experience to go out there. But man, this was the worst FuelFest we've ever been to, just because of the rain. Like, I'm sure it would have been a good turnaround if it wasn't for the rain, but unfortunately, it ruined it. It ruined it really bad. A lot of the activities got canceled. It was just not worth staying out in the cold. We spent most of our time in the damn room. I don't know which one was the one who peeled out. It wasn't this guy, was it? He had that puddle, right? No, it wasn't him. Let's see. It was one of these guys. It wasn't the Sting. I thought it would be the Sting, but the Sting did pretty damn good, if I'm correct, right? Let me see. He hit it. I mean, he's struggling a little bit, but no, he got it. Yeah. I know the video is coming to an end, so I know I got somebody. Who was it? Did I not get him? Let me see. Someone here. It was that puddle that commenced it, right? No. Oh, there it is. Boom. Yeah, I was like, damn. Yeah, so that happens time to time, and they just correct themselves. Luckily, he wasn't next to the homie, so yeah. But that's kind of to sum it up. FuelFest was, we tried our best to make it happen, but I'll be honest, it was kind of a lackluster day. We came out, we got to see a lot of cool cars, but that was it. So hope y'all enjoyed the video.